Hi, welcome to the first devlog for this game. My name's Curtis, and I'm working on a game that for now, I'm calling Caretaker. This is based on a Ludendare game jam game that I recently made. The concept is to take care of houseplants, and it should be a kind of casual idle game is kind of the goal. So right now, I've just got a little scene here. I was following some tutorials and stuff, trying to get an idea of like how the look is going to be. So I just have some temporary assets in here. Got a simple scene set up. I've got kind of my code set up here, but don't have anything written yet. So today I'm going to mostly be trying to kind of nail down this look, so we have kind of an idea of what the game will look and kind of feel like, and that's just kind of what I'm hoping to get through today. So wish me luck, and we'll check in a little while. Alright, so it's been a little bit. I've got sort of a basic scene set up as kind of the general how we're going to have it look. Right now, the plant and the pot are kind of two separate pieces, which is intentional because we'll have different kinds of plants we can put in there. So we definitely want the pot to be its own thing. But eventually they'll all be kind of one object that you can kind of move around and place somewhere. The table is just kind of a long box. It's roughly going to be, or it's going to feel infinite within the game. Won't stop you from going further along the table. So I've just whipped up a little script to make sure the table stays aligned with the camera at all times. So if we move the camera around, we can kind of see in our scene that it's the table sliding along with it. So we never see the end of it, so it feels like it kind of goes on forever. And if we end up adding like texture to this table or something, then we'll have to have a different solution, but this is good enough for now. And just a quick look at that script. We just take in our whatever object is leading, whatever object is following, and then we calculate an offset when the scene starts, and then we just use that to make sure that everything stays in line at all times. So I'm pretty happy with the look here. I've played around with the lighting a little bit too, and the colors, just to make sure that things feel kind of cohesive and together, and I think we've kind of got that. I'll probably keep tweaking them as we go along. And there's more things to do, but for now I think I'm going to go have some lunch. So we'll leave it here for now, and we'll come back in a little bit. It is now Tuesday morning. So yesterday after lunch we did a little bit more work to get this movement working properly. So we have just the A and D key to move back and forth here. that's about all there is to it. Today, I want to work on the plant animation for it coming into the scene. As well, we're going to be working on having the make sure the plants can be swapped in and out, because there will be multiple different kinds of plants that you can spawn in the game. And we also need to kind of decide how placement is going to be decided. So that'll be probably enough for today, and maybe tomorrow as well. We'll see how far we get. Alright, it's been a little bit, and we've got a spawn animation. So here it goes. Yes, alright. So, when you spawn, the pot, dirt, and plant all just kind of fall into the scene. And yeah, that's about it. So the next thing to work on is once we kind of have our plants in and we've got a couple of descriptors, so we want to be able to select which plant we want to spawn in. So we'll have to make some UI to decide that. So moving on, we'll probably do the menu for selecting which plant you want to drop in next, as well as if I can find some more plant models, or even just temporary models to throw in there. We can see a couple different options there, and we'll be able to spawn in various plants. I'd also like you to be able to place your plants, so we'll have to do some kind of some stuff to get that to, maybe give you a cursor on the table, and then you can kind of place your plant around. So we'll figure something out about that. So that's all for now, and we'll move on to the working on the menu, get that up and running. Okay, so it is actually Thursday. I was unfortunately unable to do any recording yesterday, but I was able to get a little bit of work done. So we're going to start by just going over some of the changes that we see here. So I've got the game up and running here. We've got our shop. I've put in an extra plant here, a little red flower. So if we want to place that, we click on it here in the shop, and then we get this cursor to place wherever we like. So I feel like putting it right here, and then it spawns in. Now I can grab our basic plant as well. We can place it anywhere we want, except we cannot place it on a plant that's already there. So the cursor just won't go over that area. Even if I click there, it just goes wherever the cursor wherever your cursor last was before it was over something. And obviously you can't go off the table either, but we can go down the table and place them however we like. So I think that's the big change. As well, you can see here that our red flower has a price, but we don't actually have the score or anything implemented yet, so price is kind of meaningless at this point in time. So I think that's all that's really changed since the last update. So the next thing we're going to be doing, probably get that little pop-up say, are you sure, yes or no? That shouldn't be too difficult to do, and it's just an extra step before we actually go to the placing. And then I'd like to actually have some form of actual scoring. Whether or not it's like functional and actually going up, we'll see if we get to that today. But I want to have it so we can, check if you have enough to buy a plant, and then remove that amount to actually get the plant. So that's what we're kind of looking at today. That's kind of our main goal, and then we'll see if we can have time to get to some other things as well. So that is all. We'll check in a little bit, see how far I get. Alright, so it's a little bit later, and we've got some improvements in place. So now when we go to buy something from the shop, we get this little confirmation dialog to ask for sure. We can say no, or we can say yes, and then we get to place it, and our score goes down by the amount that the plant costs. So if we take the 0 cost one, then our score stays the same. If we take the 50 cost one, then it goes down by 50. And then if I buy a couple more, now I have no points left. So now I get a little message saying that can't afford it. So yeah, so now we're kind of limited by how much we have. Right now I'm just starting out with 200 because we'll be scoring points from these plants, but we're not quite doing that just yet. So that all seems to be working as expected. So I'm pretty happy with the work that we've gotten through today, and tomorrow I won't be working on this. I'll be working on the video that you're watching. So I'll have to get that put together and uploaded. So this will be all until next week, and where we'll pick it up again. So until then, I will see you next time.